Boom! Look who stepped in the room. It's your girl Pam. Guess who I got here? We're going to be talking about men talk on Sister to Sister. Honey, yes. We coming on out. We spreading out. We going to see what the men's got to say about relationship. And what do they think and what do they want? So, let's just put it out there. What do you all think a good relationship is? But before we do that, hit that like button. Go ahead on out here and share. Honey, touch the screen. What else is left?
Subscribe.
Subscribe.
Double tap.
Double tap. Don't play. Now, we all the way from Wichita, Kansas. Yes. And look who I have with you. My sons. I have my baby boy over there on the end, Joseph. Better known as JC. We got Anthony Bay. He just dropped the Roberts all the way out. He just what? Okay. Well, we are here today, and you meet your girl Pam, as you know, and we're getting ready to talk about it. Let's get into it. What do you find? I know what. How do you make a relationship work?
Like Kevin Gates said, love over loyalty. You know what I'm saying? I mean, loyalty over love. You know, you can love somebody.
Like who said?
Kevin Gates.
Kevin Gates.
Okay, all right, I like you.
Loyalty over love.
Yeah, and so what does that mean?
I mean, basically, you know, just, you know, you gotta be loyal, you know, over love. I mean, at the end of the day, you know, loyalty is gonna be take precedence over love, because, you know, as they say, you can love somebody and still stab them in their back, but loyalty is gonna prevent that.
That's right. That's right. So, what we didn't tell you is that JC is married.
Man.
He's a married man. Ladies, he's off the board. Done for. We can't go get our hair done no more. Now, the story for another day. Now, Anthony Roberts, the philosopher of the bunch. What's your take on it?
Well, you know, my granddad, he make a lot of good points. And, you know, with everybody, they always say it's all about understanding, communication, you know, the regular, just everyday thing that everybody always say that you gotta have within a relationship.
Mm-hmm.
But from the beginning, you gotta have that game plan. From the beginning, you gotta have the rules, the contract, you know, like the direction that y'all moving in, and then upgrade that plan as you go. A lot of times, you can get lost in the sauce of, you know, everyday events and just life happening that, you know, you lose track of that plan, or if you even made one up, or it just kind of, y'all just kind of ended up in this place and space, you know, and then everybody got their own meanings for words, where somebody say they love you and you say you love them, but the way they say it means something different than the way you saying it. So
Right, so you got to get it understood, because love is a very broad word.
Right.
We use love for everything. I love my dog, I love my cat, I love my house. You know, I love my, we use love on Facebook, people we don't know nothing about.
mm-hmm.
But we don't hate them, we do love them. But that's not the type of love that you need in a relationship. So what does a relationship look like?
Communication. I mean,
What does that mean? What does that look like?
I mean, just being open with your partner, you know, being able to, you know, if you do have a grievance, being able to communicate it without it turning into an argument, you know.
That's magic.
What is your number one dislike? Women in general, not your wife, just in general. What do you what are men out there saying? Yeah, let's just take it off of y'all together. What are your friends saying? Some of the things that they just don't like about women that we need to know.
Not necessarily don't like, but just the fact that in like a general aspect, men think that women can, like, they think that they ain't never wrong and they always right. And they can't accept when they are wrong, and that's why they always feel like that, because nobody want to just argue with a brick wall. No matter what you say, they right. You know what I mean? So the dude to just let them have it, and they'll run with that, but that never was really right.
What do you think? That's a horrible existence right there.
I would say somebody being mad at you for something you had no control over.
Mm.
So I mean, maybe it's just something bad happened in their day, and now they come home to you. That's like the most annoying thing. Like, man, I didn't do nothing to you. Why you tripping?
But then if they do that, and you say, "Why you tripping?" and they can't accept the fact that they should have never even done it in the first place.
Most of the time, when you ask that question, you don't get an answer.
But that's what I'm saying.
They just take it as an attack.
But I'm just saying, as far as if she come home tripping, or you know the lady come home tripping or whatever, and you like, all right, you had a bad day, that's cool, but I mean, let's talk about it. Let's not attack me about it. And she can't accept the fact that it's wrong for her to attack you like that.
Right.
You know what I mean? So that would even like, that's what I'm saying. That not being able to accept where you taking the L, like grows into other things where you can't move forward. That's like the worst part. The worst anybody can do in life, period, is not be able to accept where you wrong and then move past that.
And just learn how to, what about learning how to accept people where they're at? You know, if they tell you once you realize who they are.
Yeah, you know their flaws.
You know, tell us about it.
I mean, the best way to make a relationship last is knowing a person's flaws and that person being able to share their flaws with their partner. And that way, you know the bottom, and you can adjust for it and then grow from there. And then you can live with all the joys and everything because you already know where the bottom lands and where it's at and what they flaw. You know, when going through it is, of course, harder than knowing about it, but
Yeah, because that take you to the old representative. When you go to the job say you're gonna be here on time. Yeah, I'm gonna be here on time. I'm gonna work overtime. I'm gonna be here on the weekend. But then a couple months into it, you know what I mean? You like, man, these people getting on my nerves. Man, I go get another job somewhere else. So it's like, you can't get lost in the sauce. That's what I'm saying. Like,
Are these some of the things
the representative at the beginning of the relationship
so at the
is
beginning
not.
of the
It's not.
relationship.
That's what I'm saying. At the beginning of the relationship is where a lot of people go wrong because it's like the honeymoon phase. But if you planning on being with somebody long term, the honeymoon phase is only like the longest 2 years. After that, then you get into the nitty gritty of everything, people's personalities and stuff. It's like that's why it's better to be friends with somebody before you actually get into a relationship with them so you can see they sides that they wouldn't necessarily let you see as. Because it's like you'll hide stuff from the person that you want to be with, but then like just be open with other people. When in reality it should be reversed. Like that person you want to spend a long amount of time with, you should be able to be open with them and tell them your fears and all of that stuff that you like and don't like. And then everybody else can kind of, get the persona of you. But it's like you giving that person you really like the persona because you want to put your best foot forward at the same time. You don't want to scare them off and all of this.
I heard somebody say, I can't remember who it was, somebody famous, of course, said something about when you're in the dating phase of the relationship, to see all aspects of a person's personality, you need to put them in different situations. Like, make sure you know who their family members are. How do they act when they're around their friends? They ain't gonna be faking too much around their friends, because their friends gonna call them out. You know, like, what's wrong?
Sometimes.
Are they gonna be looking at them kind of weird?
Maybe not there in the place, but
But you're gonna be able to feel some sort of something. Or maybe that's just a woman thing with feeling something. But put them in a situation where they're with their friends. Put them in a situation where it may make them upset. You don't know. You want to see what they like. What are they like when they're angry? These people gonna crawl in the car. What they gonna do? And it don't have to be where you are in that situation. You just want to sit back and see them. You got to get to know the people before you even. I think before you even engage in a relationship, you say, I like her, and then just start checking her out,
Mm-hmm.
and then try to see her in different places and spaces.
Yeah. I mean, but you know the way society is nowadays.
That wait time.
That wait time is
It's gonna be gone.
nobody like commercials. We gonna binge the whole 5 seasons right there.
I'm a binger.
We'll skip
We
all
go-
the episodes that come on TV just
We
to
go
binge.
binge. So
Yeah, but you got to remember that you're doing a lifetime, not TV.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's going to be worth the wait. And if you find out that she ain't, then she ain't that one.
Yeah, and she might not be waiting.
If she don't wait, then guess what? She's
She
not
ain't
the
the
one.
one.
She ain't that one.
No.
Or
yeah,
he ain't that one.
yeah. Because I mean, growth is a process kind of thing, you know, and it ain't really no quick fixes and shortcuts to stuff that's worth having. So like even when they talk about wealth building, that's like you can't find a quick rich scheme. Any quick rich scheme is a scam, you know. So if you want something real, you're gonna have to plant them seeds, water that grass, and you know, keep the snakes out for
So,
it to grow over time.
and what is a snake?
Distractions, bad thoughts. You know, your worst enemy in every aspect of life.
So you talking about your mind.
Yeah,
Keeping
your mind, your
holy
perspective,
roast.
the way you see things. Cause a lot of times, one incident, you know, where that can be pushed and to a broader spectrum, where it's like you taking this one incident into other things, where it's like, all right, I didn't tell you about this plan was going out of town. I forgot to tell you.
Oh, boy.
You know what I mean? I forgot to
Good
tell
for
you. I
forgetting
forgot to tell you we was going out of town, but then
I'm already mad. I'm already mad.
but
I'm ready to
then-
get in now.
But then now you want to take that as far as like somebody was trying to be sneaky. You know what I mean? Where it's
Mhm.
like your perspective. Well, you know you're dealing with somebody that forgets stuff all the time. Like JC was saying, that's a flaw. You know that, so you gotta take that into consideration when you in certain situations like
Well, a lot of times, especially in relationships that have already been going on for quite some time, there may be some events that's causing the mistrust.
Yeah, that too, but also, like, everybody is built off of their past life, like experiences. So more than likely, unless we 18, 15, 13, everybody didn't have past experiences that they didn't have with relationships. And a lot of times, them build, you know, like defense mechanisms. So when something like that happens, that's a trigger for, like, that's a no good, that's a red flag. Or like if they acting like they can't tell you something, then be wary, because my last relationship, he would always do blah 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 type, you know. So not, I mean, yeah, but that's what I'm saying. At the beginning, you gotta open up and be yourself. Somebody, you gotta be able to be yourself.
Now they're gonna put the representative on for sure, because you want them to see your best foot. It's like you going in for an interview. You want
Yeah.
them to see your best foot. You don't want them to see all your negatives right off the bat.
But
You know?
we ain't talking. I mean, it is like a business venture,
It's a business.
but at the same time, it's emotions. It's all kind of other stuff involved.
Mm-hmm.
Like you gotta be able to dig into the closet, and it ain't only just about where you at today. It's about where you want to go, cause somebody could be like me and JC 10 years ago, completely different people.
Completely different
You
people.
see what I'm saying? So,
Me too. From 2 years ago
So
to now.
like the growth got to be there. Where if you're gonna say, that's what I'm saying. If you can't accept, and that's why I say for any person
Mm-hmm.
to not be able to accept their flaws, they cannot grow, because you
And
gotta
forgive
cut the
people.
weeds to, you know what I mean. You gotta
Right.
clean out. You gotta clean up stuff that's like you're gonna walk past the dirty pile every time.
Yeah, and what about forgiveness? We all make mistakes. We've all done stuff that we regret, even up to the point of cheating, which is the ultimate in most relationships. Will crash them, and it keeps all that baggage with them. So how do you move forward if you want to be with that person? And how do you move forward with that? Is it
You gotta realize ain't nobody perfect out here. It's a lot of men that's would be labeled as dogs, and there's a lot of women that would be, labeled as whatever they want to label them as. I ain't gonna say. But I'm saying, everybody gonna go through something. Everybody got something they regret or wish they would have did different. And if a person is, of course, once you hurt somebody, you gotta try to build that trust back to show that you ain't gonna do that again. If you're not willing to put in the work to get that, then you might as well try to find something new somewhere else.
Yeah.
And if they not the person that you're trying to, if they ain't willing to hear you out, then same scenario. You might as well, put that effort into something that's gonna actually build fruit.
So be honest, open, and transparent. And if that person is not willing to take you back, or because some people can say I can love you from afar, or I can be a friend of yours, but I ain't gonna be with you because I don't trust you no more, because you done broke that trust. So, but they still love them, but they wanna. So I think there's like you said, some work needs to be done if they want to work that thing out.
Compromise. Only way it's gonna happen.
You think some good counseling will work?
I mean,
right counseling.
It's like if you can forgive, right, like you say, and actually move past it without being traumatized by it, then it's good. But if you cannot get past that, then you as a person, it's your obligation as a person to do what's best for you. So, for instance, somebody cheat on me, and I'm just like, hey, I get the call, hey bro, I see your girl over here at the John with the dude, and now every time I ride past that restaurant, I'm tripping. Then at that point, you can't even go to that restaurant because you traumatized by that. So then you would need to separate yourself from that situation at least for a minute.
Yeah.
And I think that people kind of it's hard for people to let go of stuff. So when stuff like that bad happen,
especially if you don't get no warning or you don't see no signals, it just happen. You're like, what? We wasn't even fighting, So you'd be like, ooh. I've seen it happen.
Yeah, it happens for sure. It happens. But I'm just saying as far as if you can't move past it,
right?
Due to the fact it happens,
right? It happens.
You can't move past it, then it's your responsibility to separate yourself, and because the person that did it, they mess around and still feel the way that they feel for you before it happened. Their feelings ain't changed. It's just that they may have, whatever the case may be.
What if it's a serial thing? They done did this like multiple times.
What you mean?
Then it's time to make a choice.
Oh, you're talking about
you want to continue to deal with that situation or not?
Well, it's deep when you're talking about this infidelity thing, because, like I said, you got to be able to look at yourself and see if you doing everything right. Did you do anything to necessarily, because it's like women say, I'm cheating because I'm getting cheated on, right?
Right.
But then what led up to that cheating on? Because I'm pretty sure whenever the person got into the relationship, they wasn't necessarily trying to be a bad guy, or you wouldn't have been in a relationship with them.
Right.
Somewhere along the line, that representative went away, and other things stepped in, and distractions, and them snakes got into the paint. You see what I'm saying? And then the ball was fumbled.
So I'm not. I got one more thing. Ball being fumbled. Yeah, you what? Legs just spread open. You just jumped in them. How that work?
Like, why would he do that?
I
Even though
mean,
he in
I
love?
think if even if you're in love and the person ain't doing everything that you think they ought to be doing, and you feeling some disconnect, I feel you must gotta have some sort of disconnect, right? I don't know. I'm looking at it from a man's point of view. Do y'all have a disconnect before you lay? I don't know. How do your friends? What are your friends saying? What do men? Your friend, you a man. You been out there. You know what it's like.
I think it's all.
Or is it
I
just
don't
a
think
game?
men have ill intentions. They just have lustful moments. I mean, I don't think women don't have lustful moments. I'm sure women look at things they like and be like, man, I want it. But I feel like some men just, find a thrill in the hunt that they find irresistible. It's just like crack. You get that crack, sometimes you get addicted. When I was in the club tough, I used to love, my favorite thing was just out there flirting. Most of the time I never dealt with the women. But I used to love being out there flirting, dancing, whispering in their ear just to see how they react.
But at the same time, you gotta look at with JC saying that.
And this is way before you was married.
Way before.
Yeah, way before.
We'll make you
We,
get
but
that.
Back in the
but
day.
with even JC saying that, you gotta look at the primal nature of male and female. The man is the one that courts. So naturally, he's a hunter naturally. The woman is the one that's supposed to be sacred about herself and all of her, and protect herself from the hunter. And then if you get a good enough hunter that you like, now you open up to him. You allow yourself to be caught.
Right.
So, I mean, that's a natural base instinct. So with that being said, I got partners, or I got people that I know, not necessarily my friends. All my guys is stand-up guys. But I got people that I know that they gotta do stuff. Like they can't help it. They just.
So then those are people that don't really need to be in a relationship.
They don't need to be in a relationship.
But they married.
But they married. But they got married because they like the woman.
And they still love them even
They
when they
still
come
love
home.
them, but they just got a lustful spirit.
But how is that going to make, unless they got some sort of agreement? If you broke the contract saying is monogamous relationship, and if you decided to break the contract on a continuous basis, I think now it's time for you to have to face the. You may be by yourself.
And that's when I say people got to accept what they're willing to deal with. If that's one of those cons in your relationship, then if that's not a con you're willing to deal with, then you go past the breaking point and it's broke.
And especially if you're gonna even stay there and deal with it, you gotta just like shut up. If you know that your person
And if they
is
don't
like this,
if they don't shut up, the man is just as entitled to live the relationship as well.
This is the thing. This is the thing. God gave everybody the ability to create their life and their reality how they want it.
okay.
Mental power is the first principle. Everything comes from a thought. Nothing was created. Not the phone. Nothing was created. Not me. You and my daddy thought about it before it happened. And then we came. Y'all thought about it. It could have happened. Like, it happened. That's what's going down.
It did happen, but we don't know when it happened.
That ain't the point.
That
ain't
we're
the point.
assuming that it did.
The point was, it was happening.
He was an immaculate conception.
Praise the Lord. That's why I'm so great. But the point is, the action, the